What Can I Do by Desiree Jones.
There was a boy named Anthony Ferguson Jr., who loved football. The only problem was that he wasn't very good at playing it. In the summertime, Anthony would walk past the Little League football practice with his head down, because he couldn't play. One day while eating breakfast with his father, Anthony said to his dad,
"I love football. I'm just not that good. There must be something that I can do. What can I do?"
Well, son, I'm glad you asked. You are very talented, even if you're not a player. Hurry up with your breakfast and get dressed. We're hitting the town today. I'm going to show you that the possibilities are endless.
Mr. Ferguson exclaimed. Anthony was excited. The first stop was to a hospital. As they pulled up, Anthony asked his dad,
"Why are we at the hospital? Football players don't play here."
Come on, son, you'll see,
said Mr. Ferguson. Inside, they met Dr. Klein.
Hi, how are you?
Dr. Klein asked Mr. Ferguson.
I'm great. My son, Anthony, wants to know how your job as a doctor is important to professional football players.
Well, Anthony, I am a sports medicine doctor. I take care of athletes if they get injured at practice or a game. It's my job to get them well, so that they can continue doing what they love, playing sports,
said Dr. Klein.
That's awesome. Thanks to you, football players may not have to quit if they get hurt. This job is really important,
said Anthony. Anthony and his dad rode through town, some more until they approached a tall, high-rise building.
"Where are we now, Dad?"
asked Anthony.
Come on, let's see,
said Mr. Ferguson. They took the elevator up to the 41st floor.
Anthony, I'd like you to meet Mrs. Elaine Johnson,
said Mr. Ferguson.
"Nice to meet you,"
Anthony said, reaching out his hand for a handshake.
Can you share with Anthony a little bit about your job?
Mr. Anthony asked.
Sure. I am a sports agent. I work with many professional football players. I help them find a team to play for. I make sure that they get paid the right amount of money. I also handle all of the business stuff, so that they don't have to worry about it and can do what they love. Play football,
she said.
"Wow, Dad, this is another very important job,"
Anthony told his dad. When they arrived at the next building, it was a very small office. This is where Anthony and his dad met with Mr. Cunningham.
Hello, Mr. Cunningham. My son, Anthony here would like to know what it is that you do for a living,
said Mr. Ferguson. Certainly. Nice to meet you, Anthony. My job is really cool. I'm a celebrity real estate agent. I get to help celebrities find huge, luxurious homes to live in. Some of the homes have gigantic swimming pools, basketball courts, and even movie theaters inside them. I search and search until I find the perfect home for my clients. I work with many professional football players, because they don't have time to look for a home themselves. I have to make sure they're happy with their new home, said Mr. Cunningham. Anthony was so excited about how many career options there were. He couldn't wait to see where his dad would take him next. That's when they pulled up to a local gym.
"I don't know why we're here,"
said Anthony to his dad.
This is where football players work out. Let's go inside and see what we can find out,
said Mr. Ferguson. Inside of the gym, Anthony saw about 10 professional football players working out when he heard his dad call out.
Hey Max. How's it going?
Mr. Ferguson gave Max a high five.
It's going great,
said Coach Max.
My son, Anthony, would like to know what it is that you do here at the gym,
said Mr. Ferguson.
Sure. I train athletes, so that they can build muscles and are ready to play their hardest at their games. We do drills, stretching, and strength training.
Anthony certainly knew why this was important, but he never knew it could be a real job. The next destination was to a bank.
Dad, I know football players make a lot of money, but what are we doing here?
Asked Anthony.
Let's go find out.
Mr. Ferguson laughed. At the front desk, Mr. Ferguson asked to speak with Mrs. Thomas.
Good morning, Mrs. Thomas. Do you think you can explain to my son, Anthony, how your job is important to the football players that you work with?
Asked Mr. Ferguson.
I will be delighted to. When I was a little girl about your age, I loved to count money. I also love math. So, I put both of them together and became a financial advisor. My job is to make sure that my clients' money is safe, and I help them find more ways to make money from other things than just football. It is very important for them to have more than one way to make money, because one day, they may feel like quitting football.
Explained Mrs. Thomas. Anthony was even more excited than before. He loves math too.
Wow, Dad, I didn't know there were so many important jobs that I could have,
said Anthony excitedly.
Well, son, we're not done just yet. We have one more stop to make,
said Mr. Ferguson. Anthony couldn't wait to see where they were going next. The last stop was at the football stadium.
Dad, this is where the Pittsburgh Oilers play. Are we going to meet a real football player?
Asked Anthony excitedly.
I'm not sure, son. Maybe, if we're lucky. Let's go inside and see,
said Mr. Ferguson. Instead of going out to the football field, Anthony and his dad went inside of an office. Just then, they entered the room and sitting there on the couch was Mark Lambert.
Dad, it's really Mark Lambert?
Anthony screamed. Mark Lambert was Anthony's favorite football player of all time. Mr. Lambert walked over and shook hands with Mr. Ferguson and Anthony.
My son has been learning all day about jobs that he could have to help someone like yourself do your job,
said Mr. Ferguson.
Awesome. That's great. Most people don't realize that I'm only one piece of the puzzle. Without the guys that you met today, I wouldn't have a job,
said Mr. Lambert. On the way home, Anthony was so excited about all that he learned today. He couldn't wait to figure out what it was that he wanted to do, but now he knows that the possibilities are endless thanks to his dad.
The end.
Anthony Ferguson Jr. loves football. He always goes to practices and he has a lot of friends on the Little League team. There is only one problem. He is not very good at the sport. Anthony's dad comes up with a great idea. He will show Anthony how he can still be a huge part of a football without being a player.